Hey everyone, in this video I'm using two different film stocks for two different seasons. I'm going back to a place from my childhood, and for the first part of the video I'm going to be using Fuji 200. There's a lot of debate online whether or not this film stock is just Kodak Gold 200. I really have no idea, but I do love how affordable it is, and I think it's a great film stock overall. When I was in middle school, field trips down these trails were a regular occurrence grade after grade. Named the Helmer Nature Center after a former superintendent named Earl Helmer, this place is supported by the local school district, serving as an outdoor classroom accessible to the public. My formative years were spent here on field trips and adventures with my friends, so obviously I do have a personal connection to this place. But I think that we all owe it to ourselves to find a place like this, where we can walk, talk, maybe make art, or just be present. At this point, I was having some GoPro trouble, but it's also a good opportunity to talk about my physical body in relation to photography. And you might be wondering, what do you mean by that? What I mean is that on Instagram and social media in general, a lot of photography is from the perspective of a human standing and pointing their phone or camera at what's right in front of them, or often 45 degrees beneath them. There's nothing wrong with this, but I find a walk in the woods to be a really refreshing exercise in looking above our heads at all the shapes, shadows, colors that tower above us, and to get up close, lower your stance, or drop to one knee and immerse the camera into the space between you and an object. Throughout this video, I'm going to try to push myself to photograph with these things in mind, and in some cases photograph right at ground level, evoking the perspective of something at the forest floor. Anyways, it's something to think about. And this was more or less it for the Fuji 200 roll. The rest of the images were from a different photo walk that I'm saving for a future video. Here I'm loading up a roll of Cinestill 800T for a return journey I did back in February this year. I showcased Cinestill 800T in my previous video. In that case, I was using it for longer exposures, which I do think it looks awesome in. But I wanted to try something different with this video. I'm using it during the day, and because it's a film that's calibrated for tungsten light, which is sort of warmer light, that means in the bright white of daylight, it will actually be much colder as an image, a little bit bluer, which I think might go well with the stark sort of wintry environment. I'm back. A while later. I was kind of hoping it would be a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a winter wonderland. Like there'd be rime on the branches and, you know, just more snow crusted everywhere. Alright, I mean honestly this would probably be a little more interesting in black and white, but I don't know, on Cinestill 800T it might be pretty cool. I could do F4. I feel like I forgot how to photograph with high ISO. What am I doing? I haven't even adjusted this. God. Somebody help me. So we're gonna do 640. Cool. Okay. Using higher ISO film should be a lot easier for me to do this handheld. Hopefully I don't fall here. Thing that I think is interesting when it snows, even though there's no leaves, so there isn't really a lot of color, is that all the snow kind of acts as a giant softbox, and so you get this interesting glow on all the bare wood. Well, this is not safe. Let's just see if this is actually solid. Oh, it is solid. Oh, it's kind of solid. Just long enough to take an image. Pretty barren. So these next few images are going to lean into that cold or bluer look I mentioned earlier. If you underexpose Cinestill 800T just enough in daylight, or in other words don't give it as much light as it needs, it becomes very difficult to retrieve any warmth in the image. I was here many months ago, the exact same spot. And just for fun, I'm probably going to take a photo here just to see what it's like. In a more or less the same perspective. Let's see. these guys. You probably can't see. Some type of berry. Kind of soft, but it's also very textural at the same time. Kind of interesting. Here again with that underexposed, cold, and blue look, but kind of interesting, I think. All right, back again. It's a lot colder, but at least the lighting's a little bit more interesting. It's amazing how much bigger this field feels in the winter. Alright, I could set up the tripod here because the light's getting a lot lower, but I don't know. It's cold. I guess I'm kind of waiting until it gets so unbearably dark that it's like not practical anymore. So I'm probably going to just do F2 here. It'll definitely kind of be a little bit more of a lo-fi vibe. And one of the reasons why I'm heading this way is because there's actually some artificial sort of nightlight. And I think with the blue hour and everything, it might be kind of nice. And also really might let Cinestill 800T shine. Alright, I slightly moved it a little bit. I just think the framing is a little bit more interesting this way. Let's do it. 1 second. Alright, I slightly tilted the perspective here. Let's see. 4 seconds. That, which is probably like midtones, 2 seconds. For the shadows, it's like 16. Yeah, I'll do somewhere in between. 3 seconds. Alright, one more. Moved it a little bit. 16 seconds. So it was so cold at this point, and my GoPro died, so that was a problem. But the next couple of frames are basically some longer exposures that I did. It's interesting, the more exposure that you give Cinestill 800T, the more it kind of becomes this interesting mix of night and day, kind of like this dream-like lighting scenario. I find it really interesting, but hey, I'll let you guys decide. All right, back. This is actually the day after. Actually, no, 2 days after. Yeah, it's 2 days after. A good amount of snow has come down at this point. But I only have a couple frames left on this Cinestill 800T roll, so I figured I'd come back well into blue hour, almost the end of day at this point. Parking lot here at the nature center is just so quiet. And it's probably hard to see with a GoPro, but there are these tracks on the ground going right around the corner. So I'm going to do f5.6, go ahead and do 10 seconds. Alright, it's hard to tell with the GoPro, but this light is actually really bright. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to do 4 seconds. All right, one more. 10 seconds. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'm sorry for the wait. I really do hope to have the next video out in 3 weeks this time. Believe it or not, it's mostly almost all set, but you know, we'll see. If you did like this content and you'd like to support it, a like, a comment, any input, it would all be appreciated. Or hey, you know, you could subscribe, and you know, I should have some more content coming your way soon. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. See ya.